Hello my loves, and welcome to today's video. We've got something fun and new planned. Hopefully it's going to be a good learning experience for everyone involved. So let's just go ahead and jump into what we're doing today. I'm going to have you choose one or more, however many call to you, but choose a stone, and then I'll give you your message from your higher self. So each stone has a pile that I've picked in correlation to that stone. Here we have Nephrite, which is a form of jade. And this is Shaman Quartz. And here we have rainbow bismuth. Okay, so go ahead and if you need to take a minute to meditate, pause the video and meditate on which stone, which pile you're going to be choosing for yourself. And then once you've chosen, go ahead and locate the timestamp for the stone that you've chosen. I'm going to include that in the description, and you can go ahead and skip right to that timestamp, and I will explain to you the qualities and properties of each one of these stones. We'll go through the charms and cards that I have for you and get you that message from your higher self. Alright, so go ahead and pause the video if you need to now. Alright, so here we have our Nephrite. This is also called Dream Stone. Nephrite helps with journeys, of all kinds, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It symbolizes purity, cleanses auras, and pretty much anything else that's not good for you. Nephrite assists the body's filtration organs. It encourages acceptance of yourself. This is a stone of good luck and beneficial results. It can be used for rituals, prayer, and meditation. And this is a guardian stone. So it's a powerful talisman for personal protection, protection of loved ones, physical security, and psychic protection as well. Nephrite encourages harmony and abundance. It transmutes negative energy, promotes calm, enhances confidence. It's a stone of gentleness and love, restores balance, helps you access non-physical realms, and it promotes the joy of nature. So let's get into this reading, see what this stone represents for you, and see what your higher self is trying to tell you today. Here we have a charm of a starfish. It's a gold starfish. Now, right off the bat, this is making me think of a gold star, like you're on the right track. Also giving me vibes of, connection to the ocean, and, maybe like a divine connection to the ocean, like to the moon goddess. And starfish are also known for their regenerative qualities. They can have an arm cut off and end up growing it back. So I'm also, getting the word regeneration. And of course, if this means anything to you, if this symbol carries significance to you, then that's something to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and put that aside. We'll come back to it later. And let's get into the cards that I have for you. So the first one we have is an oracle card. This one is Full Moon in Pisces. It says balance, spirituality, and practicality. This card is encouraging you to meditate every day and see what comes to you, promising that answers will come. Interesting, because we have this Nephrite jade for you, and that really helps very much with meditation. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state, so you need to follow your intuition, because that won't let you down, but remember to stay grounded. At worst, this card can be talking about the end of a dream, but since we're also looking at a full moon, that means the culmination of dreams as well. So it could be signifying the end of a dream, like having to let go of something in order to make room for something else. And if there's a person who you have questions about, romantically, this person is your soulmate, so this card is asking you to pay attention to that. And lastly, a warning to avoid substance abuse at this time. Now let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards that I've gone ahead and pulled for you already. This first one is going to be pertaining to who you are now. So we have here the Justice card. Justice is associated with the number 11. 11 meaning 1, and 1 is a new beginning amplified, so something big, a big new beginning coming, like this full moon, kind of talking about that. Let's see, it can also, when you add the numbers 1 and 1 together, that makes 2, so it could be talking about teamwork for you as well. This card represents higher things, election, spiritual justice. So it really could be heavily referring to you having fairy gifts, high gifts, gracious gifts. Okay? And we have one more about who you are now. Now this is the 4 of Wands. 4 is the number referring to love. And this card talks about country life, a species of domestic harvest home. So it could be referring to maybe your upbringing as someone who, was brought up in the countryside, maybe farm life, something like that. It also refers to haven of refuge or repose. So maybe you grew up in a safe place, or maybe you yourself are that safe place for others. This is a card of concord, harmony, prosperity, peace, and the perfected work of all of those things. So it seems like maybe you're a person who is very justice oriented, very wanting to be balanced. So we have scales here, so balanced in your approach. Maybe you try very hard to be the kind of person who perfects the work of concord and harmony and prosperity and peace. And since we're talking about 4 being love, this could be referring to, maybe something that you need in your life, or something that you have a lot of in your life. Okay, and together, these cards kind of tell me that, you're a highly gifted person. You have those fairy gifts, those divine gifts. And, that maybe you're someone who comes from like a rural lifestyle, something like that. And I get the feeling that you're the kind of person who likes to be a safe place for others, and who strives very, very hard to bring peace and harmony to your surroundings. Okay, so this is what we see about you right now. And so the next card, or cards that I'm going to be pulling, are in reference to the next step that you need to take in order to achieve your best self. So the first one we have here is the reverse King of Cups. Now, interesting because there is a fish, like a Pisces type of fish in this card, kind of matching the Pisces fish in this one. And it kind of goes with that starfish, ocean fish like energy. And I'm seeing, you know, water energy basically. Water could mean go with the flow. Water could be very powerful, but sometimes you just kind of have to let yourself get swept up in the current. So that's something I'm seeing right off the bat. Now, it's also important to notice that he's wearing a crown. This is a king, and that there's also a crown on justice, on the justice card. So we're seeing, you know, some similarities here. The reverse King of Cups is referring to dishonesty, a double-dealing man, roguery. It could be talking about injustice, vice, scandal, considerable loss, exaction. So with the reference to injustice here, this could be talking about how maybe you need to stray a little bit from, you know, rigidity. You need a little bit more balance. You need to become that justice, become that balance. And so maybe you don't have that right now, or that's something you need to work on a little bit more. Could be also telling you to look out for someone who's dishonest or double dealing in your life. And let's go ahead and pull this other one here. We have the Four of Cups. Now, 4 is a love number, and we also see the 4 here, the Four of Wands. So this is definitely amplifying that message about, you know, country life, about being a safe haven and bringing, working hard to bring peace and prosperity to others and to your surrounding area. And it really talks about weariness, disgust, aversion, imaginary vexations, like as if the wine we see here, several cups, 4 of them actually, and it's as if the wine of this earth is only satiating. It's not really enjoyable to you anymore. So it's almost like as if when another wine or divine gift is being offered, one that is better than the ones of this world, you kind of don't see it. It's like a child that doesn't appreciate what's right in front of them because they've been overwhelmed with having too many toys, just too many good things or too much abundance in one area. So it's important to note that this King of Cups is turned the other way around, it talks about a fair man, a man of business, of law or divinity. So this is a person of law or divinity, someone who's fair, responsible, helpful. It also talks about equity, art, and science, and creative intelligence. So that seems to be more the kind of person that you are. And right now you're functioning outside of that as a person. And then this Four of Cups, when this one is turned around, it means novelty or something new, new relations, new instruction. So seeing these cards together kind of leads me to believe that, you know, you're lacking in something, you're functioning outside of your natural purpose or, you know, your own nature. And you need to kind of rediscover your nature and come back to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next part of this reading, which is talking about your higher purpose. What is your higher purpose? So here we have the star. Now this is just along the same lines of what we've been talking about. The star is referring to the number 17. 17 can be broken down into 1 and 7, 1 meaning new beginnings, which we saw amplified in this Justice card, and 7 is a magical number. When you put them together, they create the number 8, and this card really has heavy leanings towards the number 8, even though it has the number 17 written on top. There are 8 stars. Each star has 8 points, and 8 means balance and justice, which is just another amplification of this card. So maybe this is referring to you as you know, the person that you're meant to be. Maybe you're the kind of person who brings balance and justice to the world around you. This card also talks about the oneness with nature, and it's very clear that, you know, the star is someone who has divine gifts, someone who has an inner light to shine. So this card is just really, you know, reflecting also more water energy. We've seen that a couple times. We've seen that theme going on in this reading. So more like go with the flow energy, but also realize your power, how powerful you are. Obviously you are powerful if you are the star and you have these divine gifts. Okay, so could also be referring to you as a star seed. And one of the biggest clues that we have right now so far is regeneration. This is a card of regeneration, and we already talked about that in this charm, the regeneration of the starfish. So that's just another message amplified. You know, probably referring to your ability to regenerate, or your ability to help others regenerate. So that is referring to your higher purpose, your divine calling. And now we're going to get into how to achieve your higher purpose. So this card I'm pulling is about that. Here we have the Ace of Swords. Now Ace is referring to the number 1, so that's again another new beginning number. And it's important to remember that when you see the same symbols, the same numbers, the same words over and over and over again, to pay attention to those messages. So let's just keep paying attention to this new beginning message, that number 1. We've also got the number 4 kind of repeating itself with the love message, and then also we're getting heavy justice and balance messages with the number 8 of the star, the balance in the star, you know, harmony and peace here, and you know, this judge obviously has to be balanced and has these scales. So that's what we're working with so far. Oh, and let's not forget the water messages we're seeing in the star, the King of Cups, this full moon in Pisces, and your charm here. All right, so let's continue. The Ace of Swords. This is a card of triumph. It's the excessive degree in everything, triumph by force, conquest, right? Here we see a very royal and regal eagle. And it's important to note, again, we have a crown. Let's not forget the crown here in the King of Cups, the crown in the Justice card. And this card is kind of just calling you to fight for your crown. Okay, so this is how to achieve your higher purpose, is to fight for that crown. And that could mean anything from fighting through the difficulties that you face every day. Maybe it is fighting for love. Self-love could be part of that as well. Okay, so this is a card of great force in both love and hate. So since we're talking about love, we're talking about force, we're talking about new beginnings, this could be calling you to employ some radical self-love for yourself, and just to accept love and invite love. Now, something that you need to learn about yourself. Let's pull this card. Let's move these over a little bit. Make some room. All right, so this one is the Six of Pentacles. Now, 6 is a number of family, of harmony, of healing, and we see here a harmonious family life. Also harmony and healing in this card, so that's the amplification. Okay, so this is something you need to learn about yourself. The Six of Pentacles talks about presents, gifts. It's a time for attention and vigilance. It's present prosperity. If you have a venture that you're starting or a question about that, now is the time. Now is the accepted time. So this could be, again, referring to your need to use your gifts, those divine gifts that we've talked about over and over again. It's important to note that there is also a scale here talking about balance. Okay, so we're seeing balance. We're seeing the same references to justice, harmony, peace, prosperity. Okay, so this may be something that you need to learn for yourself. It's how to use your gifts. You can see this man giving gifts to others, so it could be learning how to use your gifts for the good of others, learning some balance in your life between taking care of yourself and taking care of others. So again, that's a little bit of self-love and love for others. Okay, so we're seeing very strong messages coming through here. Now, the next cards that I'm going to pull are about how to put this lesson into practice. How are we going to do this practically? So the first one that I'm pulling is the reverse 9 of Swords. I don't know how well you can see that, but right off the bat, I'll just turn this over so I can show you the artwork. There is a fox, there's a moon up here. All right, this is reversed. So I will say 9 is a number of forgiveness. It means that you need to learn selflessness, and you need to learn compassion for others. Okay, so that might be a practical way for you to put this into practice, your ability to give your gifts to others. Okay, and a message that I'm getting from this is that you need to be clever and answer the call of the supernal. So you have an amazing mind, you have some good gifts, so now is the time to really just be focusing on your spiritual practice and honing those gifts, those divine gifts that you have. Okay, you have them for a reason, and that may be to help others. Okay, so that's something that I'm getting right off, the first thing I'm getting from this card. Now it refers to imprisonment, suspicion, doubt, reasonable fear, and shame. These are things that you have to let go of. Remember, we talked about letting go of something when we pulled this full moon in Pisces card. Talked about letting go of something so that you could see basically the fruition of your dreams or who you are as a person, right? So the thing you need to let go of is your imprisonment. It is your own suspicion, your own doubt of yourself, doubt in your abilities. Okay, and you also need to be just letting go of any shame that you're still carrying, and understand that even though your fears are reasonable, that you are powerful, and you're more powerful than those fears, and you can have anything you want. You can create anything. Okay, so remember to believe in yourself and to believe in your worth enough to let go of what has been imprisoning you, right? Okay, so this next one here, Another reverse card is the reverse Ace of Cups. I'm seeing more blue, so more water energy, like go with the flow. Now, that's another 1 as well. Ace is 1, so new beginning, and basically that's what you need to do in order to get your new beginning. So this is the referring to the house of the false heart, mutation, revolution, instability. So it kind of seems like you have to go through a radical change. And remember, we talked about radical self-love type of thing and letting go of doubt. So you kind of have to commit to viewing yourself differently than you have been viewing yourself thus far. You have to be open to mutation and transformation, okay? You may have fear of change, or fear that if you change or you take this next step that it'll lead you to instability. So basically the next step in practically applying this lesson of using your gifts for the benefit of others, achieving harmony and healing and a happy family. In order to achieve those things, you have to answer the call of the supernal. You have to let go of your fears, the things that are holding you back, okay? Let go of your fear and embrace this change, okay? So let's take a look at this last oracle card that I have for you, and this will kind of tie some of these things together. And what we have is, okay, the first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. All right, so what this is telling you, it says, I'm committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. That's pretty much what you have to be telling yourself. That's what your higher self is telling you now. There's an answer to your question, and that answer is yes, but not yet. So whatever you've been asking yourself, this is the answer, is yes, but not yet. Okay, you're halfway to your goal, so you still need to put in some effort. And now is the time to recommit to something or someone. You need to remember that sometimes we need to realize how much we want something. So you have to kind of decide how much do you want it, and then take the steps to go after it. Okay, and that kind of just brings us back to the Nephrite. Okay, this is a dream stone. This is about achieving your dreams. It's you know, it helps you find harmony and balance. We've seen messages of harmony and balance, and you know, it's a stone that promotes love. We've seen that as well as a message for you. But what I love about it is that it talks so much about self-acceptance, coming into your power, into who you are, and your nature, love of nature. And you know, we're seeing here, you know, themes of you having to accept how great you are, accept who you are. And I think that's just a beautiful thing that you chose this stone, because that's part of your journey. This is a journeying stone. So your journey right now is to accept yourself. It's to accept your gifts and to accept change and transformation. Okay? Remember that you are a star. And you're on the right track. You just have to find some balance in your life. And you have to recommit. Recommit to your goal, to something or someone. Maybe there's love in your life that you have to recommit to. Whatever it is, you know, accept yourself, invite love into your life. That's your message from your higher self. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you the best. Okay, so if you picked Shaman Quartz, let's take a look at this. This is a journeying stone. Okay, it helps to induce trances, visionary experiences, and soul healing. This stone assists communication with the spirit realm. It has a strong association with Mother Earth. And because of that, it facilitates healing journeys through nature. Shaman Quartz is about self-realization. It provides support and releases you from regrets that stem from the past. It could be used in clearing cellular memories and ancestral lives, so basically traumas even from past lives, and family curses, things like that, things that your body holds on to. It's absorptive of negative thoughts and environmental pollutants, and it clears out the buildup of stagnant energy anywhere in the subtle body or environment. It removes energy implants. Shaman Quartz is actually an antiviral, so when you hold it over the thymus, which is basically the primary gland in your immune system located in between your lungs, when you hold it over that area at the first sign of cold or flu, it really helps aiding in those antiviral properties. It's also a stone of deep meditation, great for exploring past lives. And it facilitates growth, personal growth, by helping to shed past trauma. So, this is a great little stone. Let's go ahead and set it aside. We'll come back to it later. Alright, so this charm that I picked for you is a little half moon with a star. Kind of looks like an occult symbol, that star. So it could be talking about occult mysteries, and also this symbol of the moon oftentimes refers to the moon goddess. And when you see both symbols together, it could be referring to being taught, like a person, a starseed, being taught by the moon goddess. And I'm also seeing, blue in there. Blue could be referring to life, water, maybe like indigo child type of vibes. Okay, so let's think on that, come back to it, and let's get into these cards. Alright, so the first one I have is this New Moon in Pisces card. Blue, water, life, we're seeing those themes already pop up. And it says to meditate and contemplate. Very fitting card for this Shaman Quartz that asks us to meditate and contemplate. So it's important to know that anytime that you see a card with a new moon on it, it's talking about a new beginning that's coming. So use your feelings to guide your way. Logic is not going to work for you right now. It's time to face your fears because they might be holding you back. The situation is being healed. So it's time to surrender to the divine. Now is a good time in your life to chant Om Namo Narayani, which means I surrender to the divine. And avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived by others. So let's get into the cards that I pulled for you today. The first one that I pulled is going to be talking about who you are now. And we have the 10 of Wands. Alright, important to note that the number 10 can be broken down into two numbers, the 1 and 0. 1 refers to new beginnings, which is, that new moon message that's amplified. And then 0 is a great number because it refers to endless possibilities. So new beginnings, endless possibilities. Right now, it seems like the world is opening up for you, and you can basically create anything that you want. Okay, so the 10 of Wands talks about oppression. It talks about fortune, gain, any kind of success, and it also talks about the oppression of all of those things. Could be also referring to disguise or false seeming. All right, so this could mean that maybe you're someone who has dealt with a lot of oppression in your life. Maybe who you are is someone who has overcome a lot of oppression. When we're talking about fortune and gain and any kind of success, maybe you are someone who, finds success and fortune, wherever you go. And since it also talks about the oppression of those things, maybe you're someone who, has never had, money or known success. So that could very well be who you are now or what you're going through at the time. And talking about disguise and false seeming, maybe you feel like you have to disguise yourself, or you can't really show who you truly are to the world. Okay, so let's pull the next card, and this is talking about what you need to do to become your best self. So here we have the 8 of Cups. Okay, 8 is a number referring to justice and balance. And immediately what I'm seeing here is, on the card is a man who seems to, his back is turned and he seems to be going on a journey. And since this card is reversed, it's telling me that you need to stay put. You need to maybe be still. This is going back to that meditative, contemplative energy. Maybe where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. So stay on that track. Don't veer off of that track. Okay. Now, this card means great joy, happiness, feasting. So, when it's reversed, that's what it means. So this kind of tells me maybe you need to loosen up a little bit. Maybe it's time for a laugh. Maybe you've had high emotions or been wound up or felt angsty in search of something. And now it's the time to just loosen up, laugh, have fun. You've been maybe in opposition for quite a long time, and you deserve a break. You deserve to laugh and have a good time. Okay, so that's how to become your better self. And it's also important to note that when we're talking about the number 8, that's love amplified, because when you put 4 and 4 together, that makes 8. 4 is a number referring to love. Okay, 8 is about balance and justice. So maybe you need to love yourself more, or you need to allow others to love you more, or you need to allow yourself to love others. But whatever it is, this card is also referring to amplified love. Okay, so let's take a look at the next part of this reading, which is referring to your higher purpose. What is your higher purpose? So first we have the reverse 9 of Cups. So interesting that we have the number 9, because that is a number of forgiveness. And this card means truth, loyalty, and liberty, which it goes back to, takes us back to the message of truth. Don't allow yourself to be deceptive or to be willingly deceived by anyone else right now. Okay, so that's something to look at. And, when we're talking about loyalty and liberty, maybe you're somebody who, is here to illuminate the truth for others. Maybe you're here to liberate others. Especially if we're considering oppression as who you are, someone who overcomes oppression, this card might be also referring to liberating yourself. And, you know, being loyal to yourself, choosing yourself first. Okay, again, going back to that amplified love message, maybe this is talking about how you need self-love, you know, your higher purpose. Remember, while it could be to help others and bring joy to the world, it's also to help yourself. So this is kind of referring to that. And then I went ahead and pulled another card for this section. So another part of your higher purpose is this Nine of Wands. Okay, so we have two nines. 9 meaning forgiveness, and it also means the need to learn selflessness and compassion for others. And while we're on the subject of numbers, and you know, we talked about 4 + 4 = 8, so that's this 8 energy is talking about amplified love, and 3 squared = 9. So 3 is a number of growth, of expansion and evolution, and these 9s being in the reverse order kind of refer to the need for that exponential growth, for that expansion and evolution in your life. Okay, and that expansion and evolution comes with selflessness and compassion and forgiveness. Okay, so this is part of your higher purpose, and I'm getting the sense that this is forgiveness, selflessness, and compassion that is meant to be turned inward as well as toward others. Okay, so let's look at the meaning of this reverse 9 of Wands. It means obstacles, adversity, calamity. Interesting that we have this obstacle card and adversity. So this is probably referring to overcoming those obstacles and you know, healing through past trauma. So we're going right back to this Shaman Quartz, healing past trauma. And this could be, you know, something that you have experienced in this life, or it could be something you've experienced in past lives, because we do carry traumas from previous lives with us. So this is part of your higher purpose, and important to note that it might be part of your higher calling to teach others this, you know, overcoming opposition and things like that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part here, which is how to become your best self. Now that you know that this is your higher purpose, how do you become your best self? So let's take a look here. We have the 5 of Cups. Now 5 is a number referring to spirit. It's a divine number. Okay. And the 5 of Cups is a card of loss, but something still remains. So it's inheritance, it's transmission, but not corresponding to your expectations. So maybe it's something that you thought was serving you, or that you thought you wanted, and it turns out that you have to let it go, and it's not going to be easy, but this is letting go of it so that you get something even better than you ever expected. Okay, it could be referring to marriage, but not without bitterness and frustration. Perhaps that's the situation that you've been in. Again, it's probably the need to release something that you're bound to in order to see the good that you can still have. All right. We talked about 10 being a number of new beginnings and endless possibilities. And in order to have new beginnings, you have to get rid of the old. So this card could very well be referring to how to achieve, you know, this overcoming of obstacles, this overcoming of opposition. You basically have to let go of something that you thought you wanted, and know that something much better than you ever expected is going to come to replace that. Okay, so let's move on to something that you need to learn about yourself. Here we have the reverse Seven of Cups. All right, so 7 is a magical number, and this card refers to desire, will, determination, a project. So it seems like maybe this is something that you're lacking and you need a little more desire, will, and motivation in your life. You need to really tap in to your determination, okay, and find that magic, that 7 magical number inside of you, because right now it's in the reverse direction. So, you know, this card tells me that you have the ability, you have that magic inside of you, right? But you need to really tap into that will and that determination that you naturally have, okay? So let's take a look at how you can put this lesson into practice. And it looks like we have a reverse 10 of Wands. That's another number 10. Okay, new beginnings and endless possibilities. All right, so if you can find that will, that motivation to keep going, that determination, all right, then you have these endless possibilities in front of you. Now, the reverse 10 of Wands talks about contrarieties, difficulties, intrigues, right? So this kind of tells me you just have to go through those obstacles. You have to, those things are going to make you stronger. If you continue to overcome them, it's like if you want to build a muscle, you have to go to the gym, or, you know, put in some exercise that at first is going to hurt. And it's not going to be the most pleasant experience, but as you continue to work, as you continue to stretch those muscles, they become stronger and stronger. And so this is kind of like that same message that, you know, you have to continue to become stronger and stronger. And by doing that, you go through these moments of opposition. You go through this you know, journey where you have to let go of something, and it's going to be emotional, and it's not going to be the easiest thing, but it will make you stronger, and it will open you up to those greater possibilities. Okay, so let's take a look at this last message that I have for you, the Oracle card. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. Perfect, really, for the Shaman Quartz. South Node, don't let your past hold you back. I mean, I can't even believe how perfect that is, because, you know, we talked about the Shaman Quartz being healing of past traumas, and, you know, being a journeying stone. So this kind of will help you to tap into the things that you need to heal, and this will help you heal those traumas. Okay, so this card is asking you to just, you know, say it out loud right now. I release the past. Just say it to yourself over and over again. Right now, that would be a great mantra for you to hold on to. It seems like a relationship is karmic, and it's played out across many, many lifetimes. So this could be, you know, a relationship that you feel is serving you, or a relationship that you feel is not serving you. But whatever it is, it's something that's been following you for a while. And your attraction to someone is kind of verging on being obsessive. So remember that just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right, I hope that this has been a helpful experience for you, that you've learned something about yourself and about your next step, you know, on your journey. Remember that you have, you know, magic in you that you need to find, and you need to just let go and you know, access it. Let yourself access those magical qualities. Find that determination inside of you, that will to continue and to heal the things that are holding you back. And don't be afraid of this opposition. This is making you stronger, and it's turning you into the person that you need to be in order to accept this new beginning in your life. I'm so excited for you and what's next. So if you're here, you chose this bismuth stone, and this is one of my personal favorites. It seems so magical to me because it's known as the astral traveler. It helps you to access other spiritual realms. It's hard to believe that nature can make something so beautiful, so dynamic, with so many different colors and shapes. Bismuth relieves feelings of isolation and loneliness. It's a stone of transformation and change, and it helps to easily adapt to that change. Along the lines of being an astral traveler, it helps with focus, visualization, and shamanic journeys. And it prevents becoming overwhelmed by all your responsibilities, while also increasing your energy to deal with those responsibilities. This stone encourages cohesiveness, so it's very helpful in group or relationship dynamics. It's good for a harmonious family and home life, and it also promotes teamwork and companionship. Physically, it reduces fevers and it aids with chronic illnesses. And it can also ease the effects of degenerative muscle diseases, as well as get you back on your feet after you've had a major surgery. So it's a pretty cool little rock. Let's set it aside for now, and we'll get back into that later. Now here we have the charm that I picked for you, the letter K. Now if a name, a place, or a word comes into mind, then, you know, take that into consideration. Right off the bat, the thing that I'm getting is king, kingly, knighthood. That's what I'm hearing. So let's put this aside and see what we get. Let's get into these cards that I pulled for you. The first one is the North Node. Step outside of your comfort zone. Now this is a really cool card to pull in relation to bismuth, because, you know, this is kind of a extraordinary rock. You know, it's something that takes you out of this realm and helps you to connect with others. So interesting little message that we have there. Now if you're reading this card right now, it's a great time to stop and say this out loud. Say, I know I'm headed in the right direction. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we are, and we have to kind of remind ourselves. So this card is telling you that you are headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face the fear and get over it. It's time to stop obsessing about someone or something and stand on your own 2 feet. You've got this. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the reading that we have for you, keeping this in mind, that this is a good time for you to be stepping outside of your comfort zone and believing in yourself. Now, the first card I'm going to be pulling is in relation to who you are now. Here we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so queens are related to the number 13. You can break down that number into two numbers, so 1 and 3. 1 is a new beginning, 3 is a number of growth, expansion, and evolution, and when you put them together, they make the number 4, which is a number of love. So one of the messages that this card tells us in relation to that number 13 is that a new beginning is coming, some growth and expansion is coming for you, and that's going to also bring love into your life. Okay, this is a wonderful message for you. Now, this card, the Queen of Wands, it refers to a dark woman, a country woman. Dark woman doesn't necessarily mean evil, but just maybe someone who, is a little bit darker in nature. Country woman is, could be referring to someone who lives in the countryside or, just appreciates nature. You see the cat here. It's just kind of giving me like witchy woman vibes. This is someone who's friendly, chaste, loving, honorable. And this card also talks about the love of money and certain success in business. So this person is, someone who is friendly and, loving, and someone who does have a love or desire to have money. And when I'm, talking about love of money, I'm not talking about the negative aspect of it, but rather just, a positive aspect of it, more like drive, ambition, desire, and success in business. So that's who you are right now. That's the energy of, that you're giving off. And let's see how you can become your best self. So here we have the Justice card. Okay. So Justice is all about balance. We have 2 scales here. That's some Libra energy. Important to note that we're dealing with balance and fairness. And that Libra energy is also, highly associated with love. So more of that love energy, that love message being amplified for you. This card also refers to spiritual justice, embracing your divine gifts, and just having the possession of divine gifts and divine understanding. Talks about being elected, higher things. So what this is telling me is that you need to embrace that side of yourself that is balanced. You need to become more balanced. You need to embrace love in your life, embrace your divine gifts, understand that you have the possession of divine gifts. Okay, so that's one step. And then the other step we have here is the 2 of Pentacles. Important to note that 2 is a number of love and relationship and companionship, teamwork. So again, more of that love energy here that I'm seeing for you. 2 of Pentacles refers to news, messages, playfulness, gaiety. So it seems like maybe you need to laugh a little more, let yourself dance and have fun. You see here a man who's, kind of juggling these 2 pentacles. Those are, his messages, but it really just looks like he's having a good time. He's carefree. So that's another step for you. It seems like maybe you are this person who's a little bit, you're chaste and honorable, but that maybe you're focusing a little bit too much on the chastity and honor part, that you need to find a little more balance in your life, allow love to come to you, and, share your news, share your messages that you have to share with the world, but also embrace your playfulness. And when we're talking about news and messages, this might also be referring to your need to read those messages. Maybe you've been getting a lot of messages from spirit, maybe numbers or symbols that keep occurring, and you need to kind of just focus, read those messages for what they are. Okay, so that's what we have for the steps that you need to take to become your best self. And let's move on to to your higher purpose. All right, so we have here the Ace of Wands. Ace is in relation to the number 1. 1 is about new beginnings. And this card talks about fall or ruin. It also talks about decadence and to perish a certain cloud of joy. So since we refer to you as someone who loves money, then, you know, that could be a clue to you that if you do love money, or you are in pursuit of money and have the ambition to gain money, then that is part of your higher calling, and you need to listen to that. There's nothing wrong with pursuing money if that is part of your higher calling, okay? And also talking about perishing a certain cloud of joy, you know, bringing that lesson in of gaiety, of playfulness, finding a little bit of joy and more, you know, laughter and happiness in your life, right? More of that balance. That's part of your higher purpose, to becoming who who you're supposed to be. But also maybe part of your higher purpose is to bring joy to others, to bring them out of that cloud of anything less than joy. So that's what we have here for your higher purpose. And let's go ahead and take a look at a practical step you can take to achieve your higher purpose. Here we have the Two of Wands reversed. So that's another, we've got a 2 here and a 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so that's more about companionship, teamwork. All right, and the 2 of Wands refers to surprise, wonder, enchantment, emotion, trouble, fear. What I'm really getting here is just another amplification of this message of needing to find some more laughter, some more gaiety and playfulness in your life. Okay, you need to find wonder and enchantment. Basically, you need to connect with that, with the things in life that are magical, that feel extraordinary, things that make you step outside and look up at the sky and say, wow. You know, we don't have a lot of that as adults once we reach adulthood. So, you know, this is something that you probably need to work on. Maybe you've lost a little bit of that, or you just need to figure that out. Maybe you need to work on bringing joy to others, since this is a 2 card talking about companionship, teamwork. You know, maybe looking outside of yourself. It's not just about you, but it's about others as well. All right, so this next card also about achieving your higher purpose. The reverse Page of Pentacles. So pages have to do with the number 11. 11 can be broken down in several ways. It could be 1 and 1, which is new beginnings, just so that's new beginnings amplified. It could also be considered an angel number. 1 and 1 not only being lucky, but meaning that it's divine providence, that angels are looking out for you, guardians are looking out for you, and you know, that's a message from them. It can also be the 1 and 1 can be added together to make 2, to amplify this 2 message that we keep getting over and over again about teamwork and companionship, teamwork and companionship. So it seems like maybe there is a team that you're meant to be a part of, if you aren't already. So the reverse Page of Pentacles means basically extravagant spending, luxury, dissipation, liberty, and unfavorable news. So we had this news card here, news and messages, and this one refers to unfavorable news. So maybe that's actually will refer to a specific moment where you get unfavorable news, and that kind of, this will talk about how to, proceed in that area. But since we're also speaking about, how to achieve your higher purpose, and your higher purpose having something to do with decadence, as well as who you are, being someone who loves money, then this reverse Page of Pentacles talking about, extravagant spending and luxury could be telling you that you need to embrace the principles of the law of attraction, which is basically saying that if you want to be a millionaire, you have to act like a millionaire. You have to spend like a millionaire. Now, obviously, I'm not promoting reckless spending, but it's basically the concept of, if you go to the store and you want to buy a certain item, but you tell yourself, I can't buy it because I can't afford it, then you're going to continue to be in that mindset where you can't afford it, and you're going to continue to live that lifestyle where you cannot afford those things. But if you believe in your ability to achieve this decadence, then you will operate as if you have achieved it already. So it's kind of like that concept, that once you become the person that you, or become like the person that you want to be, then you will become that person that you do want to be. So that's a message here for you as well. And then, when we're talking about liberty, I'm seeing, liberty from that chastity and maybe the need to be a little bit too rigid, almost religious in, the way that you carry yourself, to find a little more balance and a little bit more love and fun. Okay, so that's also having to do with that message of liberty. So now let's move on to something that you need to learn about yourself. Let's see, here we have the devil. So the devil is associated with the number 15, and like I've been showing you as we've been going through all these messages, 15 can be broken down into two numbers, 1 and 5. And as we've seen over and over again, 1 is a number of new beginnings. 5 is a number that refers to spirit. So this could be a spiritual new beginning or spiritual rebirth for you. And it could also be talking about how basically spirit is confirming that there is a new beginning coming for you. And then also, if you were to put both numbers together, that would make the number 6. 6 is a number of family and harmony and healing. So that could be referring also to these love messages that we continue getting. Harmony in family life, harmony in relationships. It seems like there's a lot of companionship or teamwork messages here. And then we have, basically like a couple, the male and female incarnations of the animal nature in this card. So that's something to look out for yourself if you're in a relationship or seeking one. Things to look out for. So let's get into this card. The Devil card is basically about being a slave to keeping your own animal nature in check. It also refers to occult mysteries. It's important to note, the pentagram up here. So that having to do with occult mysteries. And this card really has heavy themes of the need for liberation, which we have seen a couple times. The theme of the message of liberation and need to just loosen up, basically. So this card is just another amplification of that message to loosen up. You know, maybe that you have been, again, trying so hard to be chaste and honorable and keep those animal instincts and that animal nature in check. Maybe keep lust in check if we're talking about need for romance and love and liberation. Okay, so that might be a theme here that we're seeing. But basically this character up here, the devil, has, you know, he's kind of bound to his role as the master of this animal nature. So oftentimes when I see this card, it tells me that the person I've pulled it for needs to, you know, give into that animal nature a little bit. And so we're seeing that again, that theme of liberation. So how can we practically apply this lesson? Let's take a look at this card here I pulled for you. The Six of Wands. So interesting, another 6 message. We've got, you know, the 1 and 5 equaling 6, and another 6. Remember, 6 means family, harmony, and healing. So the reverse 6 of Wands, this refers to apprehension, fear, treachery, disloyalty, indefinite delay. Okay, so talking about apprehension and fear, that, you know, of letting go of your animal nature, of that, what would happen if you are liberated. You know, maybe it gives you feelings of treachery and disloyalty, and maybe you've, you know, experienced indefinite delay. So basically this card is asking you to do the opposite. Okay, so to let go of your fear and apprehension, because you're the one who's delaying yourself. Your fears and apprehension are delaying you from becoming your higher self, from achieving your higher purpose, right? And so this is something that you need to work on. Again, another theme of liberation. And I'm still getting, with this K here, I'm still getting king vibes, kingly vibes. So interestingly enough, this kind of makes me feel like who you are, this person that I'm talking about or who I'm talking to, has more of like a kingly vibe. So even though we pulled a Queen of Wands, this could be who you are as, you know, like your personality. But, you know, maybe you are male and so you are the king instead of the queen. Or maybe you are someone who was born in a female body but identifies as male, and so therefore you're king. Or you could be a female who just has more masculine vibes. So if you feel yourself as more of a masculine character, then this could be referring to that, and could be, you know, telling you to claim your crown, to claim your kingdom. Okay, so let's take a look at this last oracle card that I have for you, and this will kind of tie things in for us. Here we have the new moon in Sagittarius, and so new moons refer to new beginnings. We've seen the 111 come up for you over and over again, so this is just an amplification of that new beginning that's coming for you. Okay, luck is on your side. It's time to count your blessings, literally. Take a week to practice gratitude every day. Laugh more. All right, so we're seeing more of that, you know, liberation. Laugh more, enjoy yourself, wonderment. Okay. So that's a really important message for you then. You really need to loosen up. Start studying or teaching. So if there's something, a course that you've been wanting to take, or a topic you've been wanting to study, look into that. Or if there's a course you've been wanting to teach, or something that you felt led to teach, news or messages that you have to share with others, now's the time to start that. Okay? Don't be narrow-minded. Be open to change. Be open to everything that's coming. Be open to allowing your animal nature to expose itself. Let it out. Liberate yourself. Loosen up. Okay? Go on these astral journeys. See the magic and the beauty in life, the wonderment. Look at things like these and just go, wow, you know, this is... You've got so much on the horizon for you. You've got these new beginnings, but you have to embrace your liberation and, you know, just loosen up, find some balance in your life, find some love in your life. You know, share the messages that you have to share with the world. That's pretty much what I'm seeing here. You are this kingly person. You're the one who's in charge here. You know, you're in charge of your own destiny, of your own life. You're someone who, you know, is born for opulence and for luxury and decadence. Okay, so embrace that side of yourself. And, you know, if you feel yourself called to do some astral traveling, I would recommend that you definitely pick up a hunk of bismuth and, you know, visualize your future, visualize and focus on that visualization, you know, of what you want for yourself and what you're creating. And again, loosen up. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found this video informative and helpful, and I wish you the best of luck on your astral travels and all of